Well, welcome to Just a Few More Minutes podcast, where I'm going to be doing a quick video on hotkeys, the bare essential ones that I use to make sure I can animate as fast as possible. So, the main ones that I use have to do with Playback and how to use the graph editor. So here we have our graph editor, as you can see. Here's our graph editor, but here's our hotkey editor. So let's go and take a look at some basic animation that we have here. So coming out of blocking, maybe you have several keys laid down for what you want. Now, how do you navigate between those keys? This is what's essential. So you want to be able to mainly stick to leaving your hand alone, like on the keyboard. So you don't want to be having to look down and move your hand to the right or the left. That's the whole idea behind these hotkeys, is leaving your hand basically at home row and being able to do as many of your hotkeys there. So if you just have a basic keyboard, this is a good way to go about it. Playback. So I think by default, let's go into our menus here in our hotkey editor, and let's go into, let's see, it's our basic, and go down to animation and playback. So you're going to see, I think by default, play is Alt V. That already works for our benefit. So here, Alt V, we can play our really bad animation. So the next thing you want to do is, how do you get to your keys and go back and forth between your keys? So by default, the settings are way over, like it's like the caret keys or the period and the comma, and that's going to make you move your left hand. So tie your next key and your previous key to 1 and 2. So if I select my thing, now I can just toggle between my keys. So that's right here, next key and previous key. So next key 2, previous key 1. Now you want to go to just by framing, so like this. See each individual frame. So put those to Alt 2 and Alt 1 for next and previous. And that basically gets you through the majority of how you want to navigate watching your animation. Now, how do you really get into the graph editor and go really fast? So I go over here into your editors, select your editor, go down to graph editor, and way down here, this is the good stuff, where you want to manipulate the actual tangents. So for me, I set my spline tangent to G, my linear to E, and my plateau to actually flatten it to D, and that'll really help you out. The last itty bitty little part is you want to go and scour the internet for some sort of auto tangent, auto converge script. There's several websites out there and tools, scripts that people have out there. Basically, you want to be able to take your curve and not only you want to try to converge it towards a previous key or a next key and kind of soften it, and then also fix that tangent so it smoothly goes in. And you want to tie that to another hotkey on your left hand. I assign that to T. So you can see mine under custom scripts here that I have it tied to T. So what does that basically allow you to do? So here I'm in my graph editor here, and I have my really bad animation. So now I can go basically really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and just auto do that. I can make sure that these two are flat, which they already are. I can make sure that these two down here are set to linear. With my auto tangent, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the X is going out fast right away. And then I can get a perfect little ease in by using my auto tangent. And now it feels a little bit more like a bouncing ball. And the faster you get used to these kind of tools and scripts and hotkeys, the faster you're going to be, especially when you just start, you don't even have to think about what your hand is doing anymore. You're just manipulating your curves as fast as possible. And that really makes a difference, I think, actually, even in terms of making animation a relaxing process, because you're no longer having to really think about what the tools are. You're just allowing yourself to move forward and create the art. You don't really think about how you hold a pencil, do you? So that's a great way to just speed up your workflow and make yourself the fastest animator possible. So hopefully that was helpful. Remember, head to iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts and check out Just a Few More Minutes podcast, where we have other animation tips, talk about animation and video games in general. All right, take care.